In a quiet town called Obadina, people lived with smiles on their faces. The town was filled with hard-working traders, cheerful children, and elders who loved telling stories at night. Everyone in Obadina was friendly. If a stranger entered the town, he would be welcomed with food, water, and laughter. That was why people from nearby villages always came to Obadina to buy and sell. It was a town full of peace and joy. Among the many traders in Obadina was a man named Adamu Bello. He was tall, calm, and very gentle. He didn't talk much, but when he spoke, it was always soft and respectful. The people loved him because of one special thing: his SUYA. The moment you walked near his shop, the sweet aroma of sizzling meat would pull you closer like a magnet. The meat was spicy, juicy, and tender. Children begged their parents for it, travelers stopped on their way just to taste it, and even elders who once disliked spicy food could not resist Adamu Bello's SUYA. It was not just food. It was magic on a stick. People often said, "There must be a secret inside this man's meat." They laughed as they tried to guess what it could be. Some said he added special pepper, others said it was the oil he used, while some whispered that maybe he used a foreign spice. But no one ever guessed right. Adamu Bello's SUYA was also very cheap. That surprised everyone the most. While other SUYA sellers charged high prices, Adamu sold his at almost half the price. Is this man not interested in making profit? The people asked each other. But instead of complaining, they praised him and rushed to his shop every evening. Because of him, other SUYA sellers in Obadina started losing customers. Some became angry, saying Adamu was destroying their business. But when they tasted his SUYA, they sighed and admitted defeat. "We can't beat this man. His SUYA is too good." Many of them eventually closed their stalls. As weeks turned into months, Adamu's small roadside table turned into a big mini shop. His customers were so many that people had to line up long before the meat was ready. You would hear voices everywhere shouting, "Brother Adamu, don't forget to add pepper for me, oh. I beg cut my own plenty, I know they chop small meat. Please keep some for me, I'll be back." The whole town sang his praises. Children danced with sticks of SUYA in their hands, women carried SUYA home for their husbands, and men ate it at night while telling stories. Obadina was alive with flavor, and all of it came from Adamu Bello. Little did the people know, the man they loved and respected so much was hiding a secret darker than the night. For now, all they could see was joy, peace, and the sweet taste of SUYA. Adamu Bello's name spread far beyond Obadina. People from other villages traveled long distances just to taste his SUYA. Some came with bags, buying plenty to take home for their families. His shop never lacked customers, and each day his pocket grew fatter. But while the people were happy, other SUYA sellers were angry. They sat in small groups, grumbling about him. "This man is not ordinary," one muttered. "His SUYA is too cheap. How can he sell so low and still survive?" Another asked. "Maybe he is using charm," a third whispered. No matter how hard they tried, they could not understand his secret. Many closed their shops in frustration, while others tried to copy his style, but their meat never tasted the same. Adamu remained unbeaten. As his fame grew, Adamu began to expand. He opened 2 more shops at different bus stops. Now, people didn't need to walk far. His SUYA was waiting for them everywhere. But handling 3 shops was not easy. He was one man, and the work was heavy. Every morning, he went to the market alone. He carried the meat to his house, cut it, washed it, and prepared it before distributing it to the shops. Finally, he decided to do something he had never done before: hire workers. He brought in 3 young men to help him sell. But even with them, he refused to let anyone touch the real preparation. His workers only roasted and sold the meat. The cutting, washing, and seasoning, that was Adamu's job alone. At first, the young men were happy to work with him. He was respected, and his SUYA business was the most popular in town. But soon, they grew tired of waiting for him every time the meat finished. Customers complained about delays, and sometimes they walked away angry. One evening, the workers gathered around Adamu after closing. "Master, we thank you for giving us this job," one of them began. But the work is slowing down because you don't let us help you buy or cut the meat. If you allow us, everything will move faster. Customers will no longer complain." The others nodded in agreement. But Adamu frowned. "You people don't understand. My suya is special because of the way I prepare it. If I leave it in your hands, everything will scatter. Do you want to chase my customers away?" The workers exchanged glances. They respected him, but his behavior was strange. Why would he never allow them near the preparation? Was he hiding something? One worker, Sonny, became suspicious. "I must know what this man is doing," he told himself. He decided to wake up early one morning and follow Adamu secretly to see where he bought his meat and how he prepared it. But when he reached Adamu's house, what he saw left him confused. The door was unlocked, and inside, Adamu was already cutting the meat. Sonny stepped in, hoping to impress him with his dedication. Instead, Adamu's face turned red with anger. "What are you doing in my house?" he shouted. His calm voice was gone, replaced with rage. "Get out now. You are fired. Don't ever step near my shops again." Sonny was shocked. He only wanted to help, but instead he was thrown out. That night, he lay awake, wondering why his master had reacted so strongly. Something was not right with Adamu Bello, and Sonny was not the only one who thought so. The whispers about Adamu Bello's secret continued to move around Obadina. Some people defended him, saying jealous competitors were only trying to bring him down. Others believed he was hiding something strange. But while the town argued, Adamu's life took an unexpected turn. One sunny afternoon, while carrying a basket of meat back to his shop, Adamu saw her. She was standing by the roadside, laughing with her friends. Her name was Amira, and she was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. Her smile sparkled brighter than the sun, and her voice was soft like music. Adamu froze. His hands trembled, and the basket nearly fell. He had never been this shy in his life. Amira noticed him staring and laughed. "Are you going to keep looking at me, or will you say something?" she teased. Adamu swallowed hard. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to stare. But you are very beautiful." Amira giggled. "So I've been told. And you must be Adamu Bello, the famous Suya man. Who doesn't know you?" Adamu's heart jumped. "Yes, that's me. Can I have your number?" Amira smiled and handed it to him. "You owe me plenty Suya, Mr. Bello." That was the beginning of their story. From that day, Adamu and Amira became inseparable. He spoiled her with gifts, fine dresses, jewelry, and even money she never asked for. He made her his queen. Whenever they walked together in town, people turned to watch. "Have you seen them?" villagers whispered. "Adamu and Amira are like a storybook couple. True love is sweet." Adamu's affection was endless. He carried her bag, bought her the best food, and even closed his shop early just to spend time with her. For the first time, he felt truly alive. But unknown to him, Amira had a secret. At first, she had agreed to befriend him only to get close and uncover the mystery of his suya. She was sent by Bashiru, another suya seller who had long suspected Adamu of foul play. Bashiru had told her, "Find out what this man is hiding. We must know his secret." Amira accepted the mission. But something went wrong. She actually began to fall in love. Each time Adamu looked at her with honest eyes, her heart softened. Each time he held her hand, she forgot the reason she was there. Yet, there was one thing that bothered her deeply. Adamu never allowed her into his house. "Why can't I visit you?" she asked one evening. Adamu forced a smile. "My house is too small, Amira. It smells of meat all the time. I don't want you to be uncomfortable." She frowned. "But I don't care. I just want to see where you live." "Soon," he promised. "Very soon." But soon never came. And the more he avoided it, the more curious Amira became. She wanted to believe him. She wanted to trust him. But something inside whispered, "Adamu Bello is hiding something." Amira could no longer ignore her thoughts. She loved Adamu dearly, but his strange behavior was eating her up inside. Why did he keep her away from his house? Why did he always prepare his meat alone? And why did he get so angry when his worker, Sonny, stepped into his home? One night, she sat on her bed, thinking hard. If I truly want to know who Adamu is, I must see what he is hiding, she whispered to herself. Her heart ached because she loved him, yet her mind warned her that something dark was behind his sweetness. Her chance came a few days later. Adamu had carelessly left his spare key in her bag after they met earlier. Amira stared at the key for a long time. Fear battled with curiosity. Finally, she whispered, if I don't do this now, I will never know the truth. That evening, when Adamu was busy at one of his shops, Amira dressed quietly and walked towards his house. The closer she got, the heavier her chest became. Her palms were sweaty, and her legs shook. When she reached his door, she paused. The key in her hand trembled. What if I'm wrong? What if I lose him forever? She thought. But then she remembered the mission Bashiru had given her. She remembered the way villagers whispered about Adamu. With trembling hands, she slid the key into the lock. The door clicked open. The house was dark and smelled strongly of raw meat. She covered her nose with a scarf and stepped inside slowly. At first, she saw nothing unusual, just tables, knives, and bags of seasoning. But then, her eyes landed on a giant metal fridge standing in the corner. Her heart pounded. She walked closer, her body cold as ice. She stretched her hand and slowly pulled the door open. What she saw made her drop the scarf from her face and stumble backwards. Inside the fridge were not animal parts but human arms, legs, and heads stacked on each other. Eyes stared blankly at her. Blood had frozen around the edges. The truth slammed into her chest like a hammer. Adamu's secret was out. Amira gasped, covering her mouth to stop herself from screaming. Tears filled her eyes as her heart shattered. She remembered all the happy times they shared, all the love he showed her, and the countless sticks of SUYA the villagers had eaten. It was all a lie. As she stepped back in horror, her foot hit a plate on the floor. Clang! The sound echoed through the house. Adamu's voice thundered from the other room. Who is there? He rushed in, and when his eyes met Amira's, holding the fridge door open, his face froze. His eyes turned red, and his lips trembled. He couldn't move. Amira cried out, her voice shaking. Why, Adamu? Why did you do this? Adamu had no words. His mouth opened, but no sound came. His secret was now in the hands of the woman he loved the most. Amira's hands shook as she backed away from the fridge. Tears ran down her cheeks. The man she had loved, the man the whole town admired, was nothing but a monster. Adamu finally spoke, his voice low and broken. Amira, you weren't supposed to see this. She sobbed. How could you, Adamu? How could you feed people with this? We trusted you. I trusted you. Her words cut through him like sharp knives. For the first time, Adamu looked weak. His shoulders dropped, and his eyes filled with shame. But then, fear returned to his face. He knew she would never keep silent. Before he could move closer, Amira dashed out of the house, running into the night with tears blurring her vision. She ran straight to Bashiru, the rival SUYA seller who had sent her on this mission. Panting and trembling, she told him everything she saw. Bashiru gathered a group of men and stormed Adamu's house. What they found made their stomachs churn. Human heads, arms, and legs were stacked in the fridge. Old bones lay in baskets. The sweet SUYA that had made Obadina famous was nothing but human flesh. The men dragged Adamu out of his house and took him to the chief's palace. By morning, the whole town had gathered. People were shouting, weeping, and holding their stomachs as if they could vomit out all the SUYA they had ever eaten. The chief looked at Adamu with deep disappointment. Adamu Bello, we welcomed you into Obadina like a brother. We honored you, we trusted you, we even made you the pride of this town. And this is how you repay us. Adamu dropped to his knees, crying, My chief, please forgive me. I didn't plan it this way. I started with animals, but the profit was small. I needed something cheaper. I lured the homeless with food and shelter, then I used them. A loud cry of horror filled the palace. Women fainted, men beat their chests, and children hid their faces in fear. The truth was worse than anyone imagined. "Take him away," the chief commanded. That day, Adamu Bello was sentenced to life imprisonment. The man who had once been loved and praised became the most hated in the land. He was dragged away in chains, his head hanging in shame. As for Amira, her heart was broken beyond repair. She had gone into this mission to uncover the truth, but in the process, she had fallen deeply in love. Now she was left with nothing but pain. She wept bitterly, asking herself why she had to fall for a man with such a terrible secret. From that day forward, SUYA was banned in Obadina. No one wanted to taste it again. The memory of Adamu's betrayal poisoned their hearts. A town once filled with joy and flavor was now covered with sadness and mistrust. And in the silence of their broken trust, one truth remained. Sometimes, the sweetest things hide the darkest secrets. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out other interesting story on my page. See you in my next video. Thanks for watching.